I'm not great.
Yeah. I had a job. I was
a real
working
job?
a real job.
We both had part in this, and before anybody gets ready on the comments, brace yourself. Sit down, have a cocktail. This is gonna be entertaining. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm not great after I crunch some numbers. All right,
so what is this video about?
Our budget over the last 12 months.
Yes.
Granted, it's not January to January. Don't sue me. It's from March to March.
Yes. Let's put some premise into this.
Yeah. Let's give you some caveats before we give you the hard, real painful, I don't have a drink in my hand, kind of need numbers.
So okay. We started out, when we started camping, well, we're on our second year, but I had a job.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a job. I was
a
working
real job?
A real job, you know.
A paycheck that comes every week.
Yes. So I think at the beginning of last year, we were still camping. I had a job. We were
still in the mindset like that money was going to come in regardless of what we did and we didn't do.
The other thing is we did 3 or 4 months on the West Coast, which is really expensive.
Very, very expensive.
Yes. So, but with all that said, I don't do numbers. I just kind of spend, and maybe that's some of the problem. She's the.
We both had part in this, and before anybody gets ready on the comments to hate us over how much we spent and how, oh my gosh, and I've already had those mental conversations with myself. Then I had them with him.
And then again with herself.
And then with me again. So just to know, we're already making changes.
Yes.
We're making hard changes, whatever. Yeah, we're good. I think we're good. We're on the right track.
If you watched last week's video, you'll see we know we made some mistakes. And we are working very hard to rectify those mistakes so that we can continue this lifestyle.
Yeah.
So.
But for right now, let's say in the nitty gritty, okay? Yeah. So every month I do a spreadsheet of what we spent every single month. And I get very granular to the point where if I have a Walmart receipt, I'm looking what was household items like foil, detergent, whatever, and what was like food, what was grocery items, because I have separate categories. We're not going to go that in depth. I've kind of lumped some of them together. So I'll tell you what those are. So when you won't see, well, you also see it because I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
How extreme those numbers are.
Yes.
There's little categories within those, but still, these numbers aren't great.
No.
Brace yourself. Sit down, have a cocktail. This is gonna be entertaining.
And also, I think some of the problem is we've never had a budget.
Yeah, we don't have a budget set.
We've never worked with a budget.
Yeah.
I think this year we've changed that. We're trying to stay within a budget.
We know mentally what we want to spend, and okay, enough stalling. I just ripped the Band-Aid off.
So what's the first category?
First category is gonna be diesel. Okay, so we have I don't know what we drive. Hold on, what do we drive?
We have a 2021 Ram 3500 dually with 410 gears.
Okay. What he said. I have no idea. But it's our only vehicle.
Yeah, we don't have a chase vehicle. So when we get to a campground and we do exploring, we go anywhere. Yeah. That's included. Now also with me running my business, there's been times we've had to make some drives.
Yeah.
So we do recoup because I charge some mileage. So those numbers aren't the business numbers are not crunched into any of this.
No, the business has nothing to do with our personal expenses and whatever, because then that just starts getting complicated.
Yeah.
So before I say how much we spent in diesel, mind you, remember we said 3 months on the West Coast, super expensive.
Yes.
Only one vehicle, diesel, which is more expensive than regular gas.
Yeah.
And how many miles did we travel in the last year? Because that will help these numbers sound so much better.
So this is just RV miles. This isn't the...
This is not using the truck from once we park the RV. Yeah. So you got to expand that it's going to be way more than that.
So just in RV miles, we drove 11,438 miles.
Yikes. We're slowing down this year.
Oh,
okay.
Big time.
So now that we've gotten all that out of the way, and I'll finally get to these numbers I don't want to say.
As you can tell, we're a little embarrassed.
We're so embarrassed.
But we're not going to hide it from you guys.
No, this is the truth. This is the hard truth. Okay. Diesel, we spent $11,104. Ouch.
Yeah, that's just under $1,000.
That's not even the most painful number, so I'm just letting you know. That's when I add that up, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was painful. So now that we ripped that Band-Aid off, going forward. All right, so the next category is
campgrounds and memberships.
Yeah.
So when we say membership, like our 1,000 Trails membership, our Harvest Host membership, some of those memberships also included. So the campgrounds alone.
Yeah. Remember, 3 months on the West Coast. Just saying that.
$10,408.
That hurts.
Ouch.
That hurt a lot.
And the memberships alone was $1,114 for a combined total of $11,522.
Oh, jeez Louise.
We're doing better. So one thing we've learned, well, we'll give you some tips and tricks at the end.
Yeah.
So you don't do what we did.
Don't do. This is another PSA. Don't do what we did. All right. So those two hard-hitting numbers. Okay.
Yes.
So this next category is basically RV/truck. But within that category, I have our RV payments, the insurance for both.
Yes.
RV maintenance and truck maintenance.
Yes.
So broken down, so I don't say that really big number altogether.
Right.
For our payments for our RV, because our truck is paid off, so we only have the RV, is $6,941 just for the payments. Which I guess doesn't sound bad because you would maybe pay more in rent combined. I don't know. I'm trying to make it sound so much better. It's okay.
It's actually not a bad number.
It's a fixed one. It's fine. It's not a bad payment.
And we bought when rates were fairly decent.
So it could be worse. Yeah. Could be worse. We can't change that. So, for insurance for truck and RV, we're looking at $3,165. That is for the year for both of them.
Yes. RV maintenance.
Yeah. And I don't even remember what all the maintenance is. I know kind of what the truck one was, but the maintenance.
So I think this included, was this a battery you bought last year?
I don't know. Okay, just rip the Band-Aid off.
Well, $4,513. But that's everything. That's sealant. And some of this maintenance can also be lumped into the business, but we've started to separate.
We're starting to separate it a little bit more. Yeah. So have it with y'all. Yeah. Okay, so truck maintenance.
One of the caveat, I made a mistake. I bought retread tires last year thinking, I was going to be cheap and these were going to last forever. They did not. They did not make it a year.
One of them didn't even make 500 miles.
No. So we literally had to buy 2 sets of tires this last year.
Just had to do one a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
So that hurt.
Yeah.
So the truck maintenance total?
$7,717.
Yes. So if you want to lump all those lovely categories together, it's like someone's beginning salary somewhere. $22,336. Ouch.
Yeah.
Double ouch. Where's my bourbon and wine? We need a drink because this is getting serious. We haven't even got halfway through. All right. So the next one is household/beauty products, health products, vitamins, anything basically for our private use. Foil, detergent, makeup, shampoo, whatever, all that stuff.
And we know I need a lot of beauty products.
He needs a lot of beauty products.
Yes.
So that total is $3,632. Those are ones that we have learned we're scaling back a little bit. Some of the stuff in these categories that has been added on this last month, we have stocked up more. So that has added on to what the budget is because we are attempting to gate guard, as if you were following, but we're still waiting for such gate. And but we didn't know how long we were going to be out of being able to just run to the store. So I know I'm trying to make myself feel better. All right, next one.
This is an area that I think is required, at least for us.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it's life insurance.
Yeah.
We only have life insurance on me because if something were to happen to me, I want to make sure that Tanya's taken care of.
Yeah.
Something happens to her, well, I'm screwed. Who cares? Whatever. I'll figure it out.
No, it's more so we had insurance on each other for the last 20 years, and it came to the end of that term.
Yes.
And they wanted to raise rates like astronomically, and because we are not doing well with our budget, I shopped around and was able just to get his insurance for now.
Right.
It doesn't say that we won't get it, but it's something important to think about, that he is the main breadwinner. Like he knows the ins and outs of our business. Like I know.
No. She's the brain. I'm the brawn.
Okay, but I couldn't do the business without you because, okay, we're getting off topic. Either way, that's why we have it on there. So for life insurance for the year for him,
it's $912.
Yes, and that also included partial of the end of last year when we still had both of our insurance. For a while there, we were double covered.
Yeah.
Anyways, Medical.
Yes, because we own our own business, we have to carry medical. Which is $1,799.
Yeah, so not cheap, but it's cheaper than some plans that we have shopped around.
Yes.
We're still looking, but for now, it's better to have a little coverage than no coverage.
Yep.
Laundry is the next category.
I was actually surprised on this category.
Yeah.
Because,
and I added it twice because I wanted to make sure.
Because when we were in some areas, laundry was really expensive.
Mackinac,
Yes.
my.
And then I guess other areas it was just a lot cheaper. And then we saved when we were...
Like we mooch dock or we're near like family.
We'll use their...
We'll be like, hey, we're coming for dinner and I brought my laundry.
So, but...
$592.
No.
Granted, we're still fiddling with the idea of getting a washer dryer. It's just not yet.
Yeah.
Almost. We're getting there. All right, next category is pet care.
Yes.
And this just includes their dog food, any prescriptions that I get for them, like their flea and tick and all that stuff, and any vet visits they have. They're not too horribly expensive. $1,459 for them for the year. So not too bad for 2 dogs. It could be a lot worse.
Now, we did have to have... We were giving them specialized dog food at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, so that cut into it a little bit.
We've since changed to... It's Costco brand.
Normal dog food.
High quality Costco
She doesn't need it anymore. So either way, we're not paying as much in dog food. So that's lumped into there.
All right. So next category is going to be for storage. Now for storage, we've also changed this because we had a 5-foot by 4-foot locker by my parents in North Carolina. And we realized that we could buy a decent storage, like it's a little bit bigger, and put it at my parents' backyard, and they were perfectly fine with that. So we're actually going to... This storage cost is going to be gone. But for this last year, it was $1,151.
Now, included in that was the cost of us buying the storage shed.
Yes, yeah.
So that's almost half of what that was. One of the reasons we changed was because they kept upping the rates for our storage unit. We started out, I think, at like $55. By the time it's all said and done, they wanted $77.
Yeah.
Like,
which is still cheap, but we figured with the storage unit, we could have it paid off.
Oh yeah,
within
a couple months.
A couple months.
So that one we will no longer have that in our budget for the next year.
Yep.
The next one is propane, which is it's not a huge category. I mean,
and we have propane that goes for the stove.
Yeah.
And the oven.
And then water heater.
Every once in a while on the water heater.
Yeah.
The furnace, and now if we pull out the fire pit because I've got a quick connect for that.
Yeah.
And a couple things here and there, but not a lot of stuff runs
Blackstone.
Blackstone.
Yeah, stuff like that. So that only cost us $131 for the year. So not too shabby. It doesn't run through it too often.
Yep.
So that one was nice.
Yeah.
The next category is clothing and hair.
Yes.
All for him.
My hair, I got to maintain this.
Yeah. So it wasn't horrible. I had a couple hair appointments in the past that cost me a lot of money, and that's why I'm no longer blonde, because I can't upkeep that. So together for the year was $1,529. So seems like a lot, but that's for the whole year for clothing. That's for both of us, and I would say hair for him, but there's nothing there. Not horrible.
No.
Okay, next one is
internet and cell. So internet is Starlink. That's our T-Mobile unit now. That's for both of our cell phone bills. Stuff that we need.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anything else that you can think of?
No, that's the only things in there.
Well, the cost for that for the year was $3,482.
Yep, $82.
So
I look where we can cut costs, but really, like Starlink, that's a set fee.
Yeah.
Our T-Mobile is a set fee.
Yeah.
Our cell phones, for the most part, are set. So we don't...
No, the funny thing is we figured out we could stop the Starlink, and we thought, okay, we'll stop Starlink. Literally, we stopped it. We had it off for
a couple weeks,
and then we got to a spot where T-Mobile home internet wasn't working again. So then,
it was not even that far.
Yeah. So it was like, all right,
had to turn it back on.
We had to turn it back on.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It could be worse.
Where we're at here, we needed it. T-Mobile didn't work very well. So
it's horrible. The next category. We're getting to the categories where. Please hold your comments. Don't judge too hard. Okay. So, entertainment. And within entertainment, I lump a bunch of things together. So, we're talking like this year. I know. Go ahead. Give me the stare now, Joel. I bought Disney annual passes for us to have because we spent 3 months in Florida. I thought it was going to be a little longer, and it was just going to be cheaper. But, okay, so we have that big, huge, which is a third of what this total is going to be. Then we have stuff like, I don't know, someone bought a Nintendo Switch gaming console and some games, things like that.
But that means we're not going out.
But the initial cost is. This also includes all of our streaming services that we have, apps and things like that, memberships.
Yes.
And within that, I know it sounds silly, but I have included like memberships to stuff that we use for our YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Any camera equipment, things like that, because technically it's entertaining us as much as it's hopefully entertaining you. So that huge one, and this will not be anywhere close to this next year, was, oh God, don't make me say it. You say it.
$9,400.
Oh, that hurt a lot.
Disney.
Okay.
Disney, you're killing me.
Oh, it did kill us. So. It was fine. It's fine. It was a once in a lifetime thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Not gonna ever happen again.
No.
All right.
Not gonna happen again.
No, it's not. The next two categories, which surprised me and yet didn't.
Okay.
So I have broken down our dining and our grocery.
Yes.
Okay, so dining out is anytime that we go to a brewery, we go out to dinner, whether it's like grabbing Chipotle or if we're sitting down at a restaurant.
Yes.
That's all included. Or if we were at Disney and Epcot, we're eating like at the food booths, that's included in dining out, right? Where groceries is anything that I can buy and take home. That's how I kind of...
Groceries is alcohol.
Alcohol goes into the grocery list. If we do not consume it where I buy it, then it is our groceries. So, and what surprised me, I think, was for the year, granted, again, 3 months on the West Coast.
Yes.
So more expensive. Those two totals were within $40 of each other.
Yes.
I couldn't have done that again if I tried. I don't want to. I'm trying to lessen the load.
Yeah,
But for dining was $10,928. And I blame all of our friends out there that always wanted to go out to eat.
Y'all are bad influences.
Y'all are bad influences. Grocery is the next topic, and it was
$10,963.
Yeah. So, it's there. But forecasting looking forward, both those numbers are already looking way better.
Oh, yes.
So we're on the right track.
Yes.
Now, we have two categories that probably other people don't have anyways.
Yep.
So one, I have a miscellaneous category. Don't ask me what's all in it, hence why it's miscellaneous. It's usually when I'm doing the budget and I don't know where this would go.
Yeah.
Whether it's like birthday presents for somebody, Christmas presents, cards, whatever, things like that, I'm just like, I don't know where to put it. It's going to go in that category of miscellaneous. And that one was $4,225.
Yes.
Again, for the entire year, and that was all Christmas presents for everybody and birthdays and all that stuff, weird stuff.
So the last category is when our son went to college. We said if he goes to college, we will help pay. So there's a
caveat. We said if he went to college, we would pay the school loans.
Right.
If he did not finish, we would only pay for half.
Yes. So we're only paying for half right now. He's
paying
the other half.
He didn't finish because now he's gone on to do bigger and better things, I guess.
Yes. And the funny thing is now he wants to go back to college. And I said, sorry,
that's on your own.
That's on you.
But we're still paying half that school loan every month for the rest of our lives. Thank you, Dylan.
But that for the year was $2,712.
Yeah. So some of these, like we've gone through, before I tell you the grand total in case you're not adding it up as you go.
I wouldn't be.
No, I wouldn't either. I did want to. Some of these we can't adjust. Some of these are permanent. They're fixed in that we just can't minimize in any ways. The areas that we can, we're working very hard to knock this down. Yeah. We'd like to have this number knocked down in half.
Oh, yes.
I'm hoping.
So what is the final number?
Oh, please don't make me say it.
Do I need to say it?
As long as they show me love and not criticism. Please. I'm so sorry.
The total that we spent last year, $97,877.
Yeah, we actually...
that was hard for me to say.
That was hard for me to add up and write. I had to do it 2 or 3 times.
We didn't realize we had gone.
No. Because it doesn't feel like it when you're doing it.
Yes.
I mean, it makes so much sense now looking at our savings account going,
where'd that go?
Where did it all go?
So, what is some tips that... What is the
lessons learned? It's not tips. It's just lessons learned.
So what have we learned to try to help?
Well, we're not traveling as fast.
Yeah.
So last year we traveled very quickly in lots of space, lots of places.
Yeah.
We didn't stay, I think the longest we stayed in one spot was like 3 weeks maybe. And some of those didn't make sense economically. Like it was cheaper to stay a month.
Yeah.
And we would stay like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or we would, and we didn't necessarily stay in the most expensive places, but then when we went back and looked at how much those campgrounds were, we were like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize, like it didn't click.
Yeah.
So now we are going to try to utilize Thousand Trails when we can.
Yes.
Because we're already paying for it, and all we owe is like the monthly or the annual fee.
Yep.
Staying in places for a month at a time, because you usually will get a
pretty good discount,
pretty good rate. And just kind of looking at the costs. Like if it's something that's like, we're not bougie, so we don't need like, it doesn't have to be a resort.
No. But we're also learning though that some of the middle line resorts, there's better opportunity for work.
Yes. So we're kind of trying to figure out.
We're trying to find that happy medium.
Yeah, because we need work.
Yes. But I think the biggest thing is just trying to stay for a month at a time. It got really pricey.
It got very expensive.
But most of the other time, it was like 2 weeks tops.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, oh, we were 2 weeks in one spot and then we just moved a couple, just down the road.
Yeah,
or a little
we were going like thousands of miles.
Yes.
And in expensive places.
So we have definitely learned. I mean, obviously, with traveling with the RV was 11,438 miles. That's
too quick, too much. If you break it down, like that's a lot. Like there's almost 1,000 miles a month.
Yeah.
That's too much, and that's just the RV. That's not necessarily just driving.
Yeah.
So the other thing is
dining out,
and necessarily ordering alcohol while out.
Yes.
Because that's so pricey. It's ridiculous.
It's hard.
It is hard, especially when you're out with friends. You're like, oh, I want to have a good time, and then you get the bill, and you're like, how did I spend $60? All I have was a couple drinks.
The other thing is like Harvest Hosts.
Yeah.
I know we're trying to do better. Like when we go to a nice Harvest Host.
Yeah.
You can drop a good $100
easy, especially if it's like a brewery where they have food and alcohol.
So we're trying to be better when we stay at some of these places. I mean, we're spending money, because we appreciate Harvest Host and what they're doing, but we're not going crazy overboard either.
No, like I think a couple of ones on the way here, like one of them, it was like a farm sanctuary thing, and they offered like electricity.
Yeah.
So, but they had a couple things for sale, but nothing really crazy. So I was like, okay, so I'll give you $30.
Yeah.
And I'll have electricity, so we're both getting something out of it.
Yeah.
But I'm not spending like $100 on like goat milk and soap and stuff like that. So, which we did in the past, and then regrets. So either way.
Yep. I think
cooking a lot in.
Yeah, cooking a lot more.
Not buying. Like I was you have to say, going back to the Disney thing. In the whole time that we went, I bought one souvenir.
You did.
And it was one little pin that said pass holder, because I knew that was never going to happen again. But so going places before, we would buy shirts everywhere we went, or just things, and we're just like, we don't need them.
Yeah.
What are we going to do with them? Where am I going to put it?
Right, yeah.
So, and it's just a waste of money.
Yeah, so we're definitely trying to be smarter. So we're trying to stay places longer.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay at home a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as much as people think, like this lifestyle isn't every single day you're not going out and seeing all these awesome things and eating at all these cool places.
Yeah.
There's times that it seems like it comes together and that's all you're doing for a while because you're in town with friends or family, and that's fine. But day-to-day stuff, it's not like that. Like our son came to visit and he was like, what are we doing? And I was like, this is it. We're going to hang out outside and I made dinner and we're going to chill. And he's like, okay.
I think the other thing is when we get to some place and we go out, try to make it in less trips. So do some of our errands.
Yeah.
Because diesel is not cheap.
It is not cheap at all.
That truck is a diesel hog.
It is.
It is. So.
But those are just a couple things. We're trying to do better ourselves. And as much as I did not want to share these numbers, because we talked about doing this, and I was like, oh yeah, we can do it. And I started adding up, and I'm like, I don't know if I can share these numbers with everybody. But we want to be honest.
Yeah.
Like we screwed up.
Yes, we did.
We messed up.
Oh yes.
But we're trying to do better.
Yes.
And if you guys have tips and tricks that maybe we don't know about, go ahead and comment below because we need all the help that we can get, obviously.
I think the spreadsheet, by putting it on spreadsheet and seeing it after a full year helped.
Yeah,
because
it did.
We started this last year.
Yeah.
But then your computer crashed.
I didn't back up my computer.
We didn't have it backed up, so we lost 6 or 7 months worth of data. So we really were kind of.
And when you're doing it, you don't. It doesn't seem like you're spending, but it's true. We were literally spending like you were still had a paycheck coming in every week. Unlike now, where it's a windfall. Yeah. Or it's a drought. Yeah. Like it's either or.
Feast or famine.
And you never know when it's going to be. So it's like you gotta just save it when you got it. And
So we're just trying to be better. We're trying to think of some other ways to make some money so that we're not completely reliant on just my job. So that we can continue this lifestyle.
Yeah, we're not giving up on it.
No.
It's just, those numbers hurt. And I'm glad you were here to share it with us. I hope you had a cocktail and didn't faint when we gave you the final numbers because I surely did. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back and pour a cocktail right now.
I mean, it's 4 o'clock, so technically on the East Coast it's 5 o'clock, so it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
There you go.
So, and we're going to have a cocktail at home. We've already purchased the bottle, so therefore, does it count? I don't think it counts anymore. We already paid for it.
It's already paid for. We're good.
All right, guys. We're going to leave you here, but for now,
get out and enjoy your adventure.
We'll see you next week, guys.
All right.
Bye. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking our channel. Don't forget to click that bell to be notified when we release another crazy video.